So we're looking at right now. We're looking at Second Peter here, chapters 1 to 4, and Jude. And there's only one chapter in Jude, but it's amazing that Jude and Peter strike on the same thing that they're dealing with, and that's really those who criticize. And we're not talking about the world that looks in and criticizes. We're talking about members of the body of Christ who criticize. And they often, we've all encountered these people, and they criticize out of a position of fear. And the fear comes from things that they're facing that they don't understand. So they attack and they criticize things that they don't understand. And what they do is that they clothe themselves in what is familiar to them. They'll go back to the old covenant. They'll go back to the law, and they'll cherry pick things out of that to try to attack the people who are pressing in for the more of God, because we've been told to pursue the more. We've been told to seek, to knock, to ask. We've been told to press in. We've been told to stay hungry, thirsty, that there's more for us to have, that it comes from glory to glory, bit by bit, revelation upon revelation, and given to us, that we can go deeper and deeper. And there are those who want to get to a point that they think that they know enough, that they can then turn around and start criticizing and attacking those who are going after them more. And really it becomes just something that you get to used to. I don't know if you really get used to it, but it's just becomes very common. You'll see it in a lot of the social media comment areas, attacking leaders that they've never met, criticizing, judging, saying things about people that they've never actually had a conversation with. And they try to isolate tiny things that they've said and build a case against them, and all kinds of things. You know, when we come off of this thing, a letter from Paul to Timothy, and we're reading in Hebrews, and we're reading all this of what the church is supposed to look like, what the body is supposed to look like, the love that we're supposed to have, the fact that we live in a place of freedom and grace, and we extend that to our fellow believers as we explore God, and there's a lot to explore. And then you encounter this, and Paul or Peter and Jude just dealing with this whole criticism thing that is going on. I just encourage you that if there are things that you don't understand, then ask God. Pursue Him, ask Him questions, but don't criticize another man's servant. Don't do it. Don't go there, because criticism is just going to cause bitterness in yourself. And there are every one of us have people who are ahead of us, who are pursuing the more, and then we have people who are behind us, and we need people. We need people to see by our example the love, what more actually looks like, and so the criticism hopefully one day will stop. But it's hard to say, because it seems to be our human nature, which we're not supposed to have anymore. We're supposed to have the nature of Christ. So those who are filled with that bitterness and that attack mode, they really need to question themselves and ask themselves, do they have the Spirit? Are they living by the Spirit? I don't want to call them out. I don't want to say that they don't. That's a question that they have to answer for themselves. But the fruit that they're demonstrating is that they don't have the Spirit, or at least they're not operating in the Spirit, because we operate from a position of love, not criticism. So you be blessed.